After an opening period that saw Ohio put up 7 goals, they made Mercyhurst wish there was a mercy rule. From there, Ohio would take the momentum and win this one easily by a score of 11-0.
Trimble came out fired up as always and ready to play. Each game is more and more important for them with playoffs right around the corner. Homecoming night and a pink out in Gloucester tonight. Big congrats to Peyton Spencer and Sawyer Coombs for winning Homecoming King and Queen. Also, we have a Max Hooper sighting.
Net pulled Magyar puts the game on ice, and the Ohio Bobcats knock off the #1 team in the country and hand Lindenwood their first loss of the season.
And a big reason why Ohio got win number 2 on the season was freshman goaltender Max Karlenzik stopping all 37 of the shots he faced tonight.
I hear Lady Tomcats had a lot at stake this week.
The Lady Tomcats had the chance to clinch a share of the TVC Hawking title for the first time in 15 years. But first, they had to take on Miller and Wahama. While Gloucester may be known as a football town, a new team has found success here, the Trimble Lady Tomcats basketball team. The Lady Tomcats just completed one of their best seasons in the last 15 years, but the team didn't always have the same success it had this year. It wasn't long ago that the team had to cancel their season.
3 girls went down with injuries during their game against Miller, and another one was deemed ineligible. It's a sad day for girls basketball in Gloucester, as we regret to inform you that the Lady Tomcats will not be continuing their season.
It was a dark place, to think of, are we doing this right? You really start to doubt yourself.
Fast forward to this basketball season, and the Lady Tomcats have completely flipped the script. First TVC Hawking title since 2005. First sectional title since 2010. First district title appearance since 2006, all with a roster of freshmen and sophomores. The team was led by 4-star players, Jane Six, Emily Young, Brianna Osborne, and Laken Imler. Those 4 players contributed a lot individually and as a team.
Through the regular season, all 4 of them averaged in double figures. I think that's a pretty balanced team when you can say that 4 of your girls throughout the whole season averaged 10 or more points a game. That speaks volumes to them as individuals and as a team. Very unselfish. Of one game, we're throwing the ball in the post to Jane. They start to double. She's kicking out to the guards to hit shots. Laken's flying up and down the floor, getting fast break points and stuff like that. So it's an accomplishment to them, and I really think it's cool that they were able to accomplish that.
After the success from this year, Coach Richards hopes to build on it and establish a winning culture for years to come.
Losing the district championship, it was really tough, but, there's a regional semifinal, there's a regional final, there's Sweet 16. We go to High State, and I tell the girls, I told them last year, I was like, wouldn't it be really cool to come back here and be playing for, in the Final Four? That would be really, really cool.
The Lady Tomcats' loss in the district finals to Peebles halted their quest to a state title run, and they'll look to continue their success in the next season. For Hardwood Heroes, I'm Zach Paquette. Joe, you're 2 for 2. You got 1 video left. Okay. Let's end on a good one. Let's go to week 2. Crooksville hosting Philo. Philo quarterback Hunter Adolph is going to take the carry here and go up the far sideline. Joe, right here, hit or miss?
Looks like it got a good angle. That's a hit.
Oh, Joe, he's going to make a few guys miss and tiptoe his way 46 yards to the end zone. You went 2 for 3. That's not bad, but I have one more bonus clip here for you, Joe. This segment is called Hit or Miss. I didn't want to leave this one out. This is from last year with our host, Blake Baker. He's going to take the in route. Hit or miss?
That's a hit. Blake runs right over him.
Yep, you caught it just right. Yeah. But, hey, it's all in good spirit. He helps the guy up. He's all smiles here.
We have reporter Zach Paquette, who was out at that game to see how they would perform in their second game.
Yeah, Jacob, in 2019, the Eastern Eagles made the playoffs and were knocked out by Newark Catholic in the first round. Now, at the time, the 2019 season was considered the best in recent history. That was until this season.
After making their first playoff appearance in 18 years in 2019, the Eastern Eagles came into 2020 with high expectations. After suffering a 14-point loss to Caldwell in Week 1, the Eagles played host to Trimble in Week 2 in a game that came down to the wire.
Fast forward to the 4th quarter, tie game 7-7. Ridenour hands off to Steve Fitzgerald. And who's that? It's Blake Guffey with the football for the Tomcats. Takes it back to the Eastern 7-yard line. And Guffey would kick a 21-yard field goal to take the 10-7 lead. Now it's Eastern's turn to respond.
4th and long here. This is the ball game. Ridnour takes the snap, rolls left, looking for his receiver, finds him, but he's a yard short, and Trimble would hang on to win this one, 10-7.
From there, each game felt like a must-win for the Eagles. After beating South Gallia in Week 3, they had a pivotal matchup at Waterford with the fate of their season on the line.
Eastern Eagles soar into Wildcat Stadium looking for a huge conference win. Fourth quarter now, Eagles opt for a field goal, and it's good. It's 10-0 Eagles.
And on the onside kick, it's Newland fielding the ball for the Eagles, and they'll hold on to win 10-8 over the Wildcats.
To come up here and Waterford's a tough place to play, and to gut out a win just like we did, that was great. I mean, all our kids played really hard, and we just gutted them.
But it wouldn't be smooth sailing just yet for the Eagles. Injuries to Connor Ridenour during the Waterford game and Blake Newland during the Southern game meant other players needed to step up. Brady Yonker stepped up at quarterback as Ridenour moved to tight end. In the backfield, Steve Fitzgerald emerged as the lead guy in a run-heavy offense. Eastern would finish the regular season 4-2, good enough to finish second in the TVC Hawking standings, their highest finish in a long time.
Every team I've had has played hard and they've done great, and it came to these guys and we finally got that rock like last year and this year, so we can get over the top.
The Eagles looked to ride the momentum from the regular season into the playoffs. They took on Caldwell, who beat the Eagles in Week 1, but it was Eastern who got the last laugh in this historic win.
11-seeded Eastern Eagles taking on 6-seeded Caldwell in this huge playoff matchup. Steve Fitzgerald again up the middle, fakes out the cameraman, but he'll score standing up 23 yards out, but Caldwell wouldn't go down quietly. Braxton Dudley fires a pass, finds Dawson Moore in the back of the end zone, 20-8 Eagles after the 2-point conversion. And on to the second half, Steve Fitzgerald again, 21-yard score. It's 26-8 Eagles at this point, and they would hang on to win 26-14 for their first ever playoff win.
It's kind of a little overwhelming because, it's the first time this has happened. We want to keep it rolling. That's what we said. It's all the coaches. We don't want this to be the last week we practice. So hats off to the kids. That was just a meat grinder game, and they did a great job.
And like Coach Newland was saying, this Eastern team is just taking the season one game at a time, and they found themselves in a nice little playoff run.
The Trimble Tomcats are off to a perfect 4-0 start to the 2020 season. After graduating a large senior class in 2019, the Tomcats return with new faces, including a new guy under center, Tabor Lackey. And for Lackey, this is an opportunity that he and the coaches have been waiting for.
We were lucky to have, Tabor. He was ready to play as a freshman. It's just we had Cam Kittle, there, and Cam was a great quarterback in his own. But Tabor stepped right in. I never really considered him an underclassman. He got a lot of reps in practice last year, and he was ready to be the quarterback.
Being the new quarterback can be a little nerve-wracking, but for Lackey, he's found his game after shaking off the nerves.
First half against Nelsonville felt pretty good, and then definitely against Belpre. That's when everything started to click, I feel like.
Despite the new look team, the Trimble Tomcats find themselves in a similar position, looking to compete for a TVC Hawking title, and in their way stand the Waterford Wildcats.
Every year since 2016, these two schools have battled it out with TVC Hawking championship implications attached every year. The Tomcats will be looking to secure their third straight TVC Hawking title, while Waterford looks for their first victory over Trimble since 2017 on Friday night.
We just we've looked forward to this game, and we had a fairly easy one last week, so to get ready for the playoffs and to play a playoff caliber team that Waterford is, that's big for us.
This is my 5th year coaching, so we got them the first 2 years, they got us the next 2, so we feel like we match up pretty good against them this year. They're a very good, well-coached team. They work hard all year long, which is what you need to be successful. and they do a good job of being ready, and I'm sure they'll be ready for us, and we'll be ready for them, and it should be a fun matchup.
Reporting for 740 Zone, I'm Zach Paquette.
I'm ready to debate it with this guy.
Alex, don't get too ahead of yourself now. Can we at least recap this game from Friday night? The Trimble Tomcats headed to Stewart to take on Federal Hocking, and the winner of this game would be in the driver's seat to win the TVC Hocking title. It was a packed gym in Stewart, and rightfully so. The last time the Lancers beat Trimble was when Howie Caldwell was head coach of Federal Hocking. Well, the sixth time wasn't the charm for the Ohio Bobcats hockey team on Saturday night as they played host to Liberty for the sixth matchup of the season.
The Eagles made a little bit of history on that night, didn't they?
Yeah, Jacob, they knocked off arch rival Southern 42-0, securing the second spot in the TVC Hocking standings, which is their highest finish since 2011.
After a Colin Felton goal to make it 10-0, fast forward to the third period. Bobcats on the PK. Magyar bats the clearing pass out of the air and beats the goalie to make the score 11-0 to complete the hat trick. Max Karlenzik tosses his hat on the ice. All smiles for the Bobcats as they win 11-0.
And Zach, I hear the Convo Cats are on the prowl yet again.
Yes, Sam, the Trimble Tomcats took on the South Webster Jeeps Thursday night in the district semifinals at the Convocation Center. And this game was close from the start, with Trimble jumping out to an early 17-13 lead after one quarter. And from then on, this game was all Trimble as they cruised to the easy 68-38 win to advance to the district finals.
One word to describe the Waterford Wildcats: consistent. A frequent playoff team that can always be found in the running for the TVC Hocking crown is set to kick off their 2020 season, and they'll be relying heavily on their youth and experience from last season.
We had a lot of guys that got a ton of experience last year, so we got most of our defense back. We lost Zane, our all-state quarterback, which will be tough to replace, but our kids are pumped up. They worked extremely hard once we got the okay to go ahead and start lifting again. So these kids are excited and pumped up, and they've been through the ropes, so they're ready.
COVID-19 and a shortened regular season give high school teams lots of distractions, but the Wildcats look to avoid them.
I think we're just sticking the same way. We want to win our games. That's pretty much it. We don't really let it bother us or anything like that. So,
with a shortened season, the Wildcats will be put to the test from the very start, facing off against arch rival Fort Fry in Week 1.
Waterford hasn't beaten the Cadets since 2007, but the bad blood between the teams still resides in the Wildcat players.
You don't want to say what, I don't know. I just want to kill them, really. Just beat them up real good. I mean, it's been a long time since Waterford's been on top, so we want to put it to them this year.
I'm ready to go. Our team's ready to go. Everyone's excited. No one's afraid. Ready to win.
Coach McCutcheon emphasizes to his players to seize the moment because of the uncertainty of playing a full season.
We never know when it's going to end. Obviously, we never know when it's going to end, so our kids are playing extremely hard. They're playing hard in practice. You never know when that last snap's going to be. So we go hard. So we expect to go hard every game.
Reporting for 740 Zone, I'm Zach Paquette.